Masters is what got me. Why isn't mortgage financing something that you seem to be passionate in?
When people hear finance, or especially a master's in finance, they think right away Wall Street.
Yeah. So tell me, why are you getting into an industry in which is probably 20 years older than you are? This is Chris Johnson with SurePath Lending. Today, I'm sitting with Michael Ferrara. Michael was a person I interviewed this past week for a loan officer position. And I just had some questions for Michael because Michael's background is not the normal or one that I come across when I interview people. Michael, when I interviewed you a couple days ago, when I mean your background was one that I don't normally come across, I cannot stress that enough. Tell me, or I guess tell us, what education background do you come from?
Yeah, that's a great question. So past 5 years, I went to Merrimack College, which is in the suburbs of Boston, Massachusetts. I played the college cross there. And I received a bachelor's in business administration, as well as my master's this past September in finance.
And it's that word right there, masters, is what got me. When you told me that you had a master's in finance, I thought to myself, why mortgage financing? Again, I've interviewed hundreds and hundreds of loan officers, and I've come across people that have an extensive education before. So you're not the first. But again, what really got me with you was, one, you had a master's, but also your age, because you're young. So why isn't mortgage financing something that you seem to be passionate in?
Yeah, again, I think that's a great question. And first off, when people hear finance, or especially a master's in finance, they think right away Wall Street.
Yeah.
Flat out. And at the end of the day, if you really look at the scope of things and you look at mortgage industry, it's, for one, never going to be going away in the near future, or at least in the next 100 and something years or so. Never going to be going away. And secondly, there's just the money that's involved in mortgages and loans, because, it's just not every day that someone's going to go up to a house and be a cash buyer, which is obviously good news for us. And with that being said, I just believe the money that can be made in this industry is bar none compared to the rest of the finance industry.
Okay. Yeah, that's, well said. One other thing, though, you told me your father went through something similar when he was getting out of school. Tell me about that story.
Yeah, no, great question. So my father, graduated college, similar both to what I'm in, really didn't understand, or really didn't know what he was going to do. Recently just got his undergrad in business, and he had two options. One of them was a salary gig. This is going back in the 80s. It's around $25,000, $35,000 a year. And his second option was, to become a stockbroker. And they told him, you could make yourself, $65,000, $70,000 a year as a stockbroker, and it seems like a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you want to double your guaranteed salary, into a commission job like that?
Yeah. Good. Okay. And then one other thing we talked about during the interview was the average age of being a loan officer. I've heard a different number of statistics. I don't know the exact amount. I do know that we are getting up there, as you can tell by my gray hair, my beard and on my head, that we are starting to get older. So tell me, why are you getting into an industry in which is probably 20 years older than you are?
Yeah, no, that's a great question as well. I mean, I think the best thing for me right now is just seeing everybody in this industry that's so much older than me, because it just shows, obviously I'm in the right spot. Because at the end of the day, everyone's day is going to come where it's going to be time to, turn in and retire, and so on and so forth. And so if that's, what my future is, a loan officer, possibly taking over the position that you're in the next 15 or 20 years or so, I believe that's going to be there.
Oh, so you want my job? Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know that he would like my job. But you know what? You can gladly have my job, because when you get into business, any kind of business, you should always be looking for your replacements. I know a lot of people, they don't believe in that for whatever reason. I guess maybe they're scared. But the thing about it is, when you're running a company, when it comes to business, you 100% need to be looking for your replacement. I need to find somebody else that can carry the torch for SurePath. And so hopefully, that's you. Last question I have for you. Your master degree in financing, how is that going to help you to be a successful loan officer?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Obviously, my master's degree in financing, for those that don't really know too much about it, it was a lot with Excel spreadsheets and so on and so forth. So just dealing with data that's incoming, whether that's people's income, credit score, and so on, being able to manipulate that data, qualifying them for a loan that typically certain, companies would not be able to manipulate and so on. So I believe, just seeing all the information in front of me, all those numbers, and being able to qualify for them alone, because at the end of the day, that's what people are going to come to us for.
Well, nice. I appreciate the time, man.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris.
This is Chris Johnson with SurePath. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel.